Hello everyone and welcome once again to Brandeo Collection. Today we're taking a look at our Avengers Infinity War autograph collection. So stick around and we'll take a look right after the jump. I'm so excited to get right into things and start talking about our Avengers Infinity War autograph collection. Now, just a little bit of backstory on this before we jump into things. I started collecting these Infinity War character posters. Now, the size that I'm collecting in is 8 by 10. And these different photos I have either ordered through a private signing or I've purchased from inventory for these different signing companies over the last few years. One thing I am going to start off with, kind of as a little heads up, the only one that you are not going to see in the collection as it stands right now is a Robert Downey Jr. piece. And the reason for that is we do have a couple different Robert Downey Jr. autographs in our collection from Swayu signing a few years ago, but at the time when he did that private signing, I was not collecting this set. I decided to collect this set, of course, after he did that private signing. He did sign these character posters as part of that signing, and he did sign 8x10s, but the problem is I didn't order at the time, and the pieces he did sign are now online for significantly more money than they were at the time of the original order placement. So right now, we're not going to be able to add that to the collection, but maybe in the future we will, because those pieces do exist out there. So a little bit of a caveat before we get into things. But other than that one, I'm going to go over the pieces we have right now. And there are still other posters that are missing from our collection, but those are from people who are actually still signing or maybe will sign in the future, and we'll add those people as they come along. Now, before we jump into things today, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we post new content. We have exciting things always planned here for our channel. So let's jump right into things. We'll assemble together and jump on over to take a look at these pieces from our Avengers autograph collection. Starting off here, I didn't really think about doing a particular order. I'm not ranking them on which one I like the most or which one is kind of at the bottom. I put them all in the same category. I enjoy all of them across the board, but we'll kind of put them in little sections as we go through this. And the first section I actually kind of want to talk about is the Guardians of the Galaxy collection. We don't have all of the members as it stands right now, but we do have a good chunk of the important ones, at least at this time. And the first one that I'm actually going to start with is Mantis. So Mantis is one that I got from Swayu's private signing as part of New York Comic Con last year. So that is one that came from their signing. Another piece that's part of Guardians of the Galaxy that also came from the same private signing at New York Comic Con was this Karen Gillan piece of her as Nebula. So now we have this Palm piece, who I'm not going to butcher her last name, of course. But you have her, Mantis, and then you have Karen Gillan as Nebula. So those are the first two pieces we're going to take a look at. Now, those start off the Guardians of the Galaxy that's part of Infinity War and goes into the main kind of members of that. And the next one is actually the most recent acquisition to our Infinity War collection, and that is the Zoe Saldana piece here as Gamora. This one just came in right at the end of the year. There was November, December of 23. We added this to the collection from her signing at Rose City Comic Con. This one came through Twin City Comics. They were the ones facilitating some of the signings happening at that event, and I ordered this shot through them. So this is the most recent piece out of everything we're talking about today. And then to round out our Guardians, we have the piece that actually started this whole collection, the one that I thought to myself, you know what, let's go down this rabbit hole of collecting these Infinity War posters in 8x10, and that is this piece from another SWAU signing, and that is Chris Pratt. So Chris Pratt's autograph is a piece I picked up from the SWAU inventory sale when they released these back when he did his initial signing with them a few years ago. And once I got this piece, this is the one that kind of triggered, you know what? Let's go down this idea of picking up these 8x10s of these posters, adding the different actors and people that are part of those posters to the collection. Even though I already missed the Robert Downey Jr. ability to add him on one of these, I thought, you know what, we could always go backwards, or at least just kind of keep going with the signings that are happening currently or in the near future. So this is where things really got started. From there, let's talk about a pair that goes together. And the first one I'm going to take a look at is Paul Bettany as Vision. So we have Vision here. This is another piece ordered directly with Twin City Comics. This is one that looks great there, as all of these do. So I'm really happy with that. And then the next one here is another one I ordered through an inventory sale, specifically through Official Picks, and that is this Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch, or Wanda Maximoff, which the funny thing about this, she uses the Scarlet Witch character name here on this 8x10, but at this point in the timeline of the MCU, she is not known as the Scarlet Witch yet. That's just something that we all called her in the real world, but she does not actually use that name until WandaVision. So it's kind of funny that she has that character name. It's not completely accurate to the timeline of the MCU, but I still think it's cool to have her signature with a character name on this shot. And then a piece that kind of goes along a little bit in the scheme of things with Wanda, with the Scarlet Witch. And this is another piece that came in actually right before the Gamora piece. So these both came in at the end of 2023. And here is Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, one of my personal favorite characters in the MCU, and one of my personal favorite actors too. So I'm happy to have this piece added to the collection, added to this piece of Infinity War items all together. I think his signature looks great, and this is only the second Benedict Cumberbatch autograph I've added to my collection. I had a piece I purchased online through the Facebook groups a few years ago from the first Doctor Strange movie, but now this is a piece I was able to order myself and pick which photo I really wanted him on, so I put this to continue our collection here of Infinity War items. I realized while I was putting this video together that I actually missed one of the pieces in our collection, and that specifically is the piece signed by Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. So I couldn't believe that I missed him out of all the different pieces we have in the collection currently, so wanted to take some time to acknowledge that to make sure we cover all of the items in our collection. And now that we've talked about all these other different pieces here in our collection, we rounded out the final two pieces we're going to talk about today and bring us into the kind of main group of Avengers characters. Now, before I jump into that, if you've enjoyed what you've been watching so far, please remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell notification, and help us to continue to grow by sharing our content with anybody else who you feel may be interested in the type of pop culture collectible conversations we have here on our channel, whether that be autographs, 1/6 scale figures, comic books, and anything else that is pop culture related. So let's jump right into things and talk about these last two pieces. And the first one I am going to talk about is Mark Ruffalo as the Incredible Hulk. So this is a piece here. You see the Hulk takes up pretty much the entirety of this poster, but you have Mark Ruffalo's signature right there, front and center here on these posters. You've noticed across the board, I've kind of kept it uniform and ordered a silver pen on each of these different photos. I think it's a good color that pops across the board just to kind of go along with the background colors of each of these posters across the board. So it is a good selection to keep things consistent and looking good across all of these different actors and characters. And bringing us to the final piece we're going to be talking about today, and to bring into one of the main 3 Avengers, you have Chris Evans as Captain America. So another SWAU signing, just like the Mark Ruffalo one as well was a SWAU signing. This one I ordered directly from C2E2, I believe was his appearance that I ordered this one from. Now just having the major ones from there. So we talked about earlier that I was not able to order a Robert Downey Jr. piece because I started this collection after his signing, but we may get to that later. But the next one I need here to kind of round things out, the trio, is a Chris Hemsworth piece. He's somebody who he's signed over a few times over the last years, so I know that's somebody that I'm not going to have to wait too long to get that added to the collection. Once he does come around again, I'll be able to send something in, or maybe the signing company that hosts it will be able to have one of these photos as a photo option as part of their pre-order setup. So overall, I really enjoy this collection. I'm happy that I started it, even though there are some people like, unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman, who's part of the set, who I can never get that signed just because, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. So that's a case. You have people like Scarlett Johansson, who doesn't really sign at all. Now, of course, there's signatures that exist out there. There's times where she has signed on the street, but she's never done a private signing, and it doesn't really seem like she has any interest of ever doing a private signing, but you never say never. It may take a few more years or even longer than that before it happens, but it may happen someday. We can all hope about that. But there are other characters. There are people like Chris Hemsworth. Robert Downey Jr. may do another signing sometime in the future. We never know. It's very possible, but he may or may not. And then you have other people like Bradley Cooper, who is supposed to be doing a signing with Celebrity Authentics. You have people like Vin Diesel, who's never done a private signing. He's a little bit difficult to get on the street. It's happened, but it's a little bit difficult for him. But let's see if that ever happens in the future. So overall, there's some outliers, some additional people. We need Tom Holland to sign again. He used to do conventions, but he hasn't done one since 2019. So let's see if he does it again so I can add that piece too. We need Dave Bautista. So there's a lot of different people from there that we do still need to add. Thank you so much for taking some time to go through this Infinity War autograph collection with us. If you enjoyed this video, once again, let us know in the comments below. Let us know by sharing this video with anyone who you think may be interested in the type of content we produce here on our channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining us. And once again, keep on collecting.